Have you ever experienced that peculiar sensation following a spiritual awakening where everything seems different, as if the world has lost its vibrancy? The excitement, joy, and even the drama of life feel distant, hollow, and somewhat pointless. You might look around your surroundings and wonder, why does everything feel so empty? If this resonates with your current experience, I want you to understand something very significant. You are not alone, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with you. In fact, this feeling of emptiness is one of the most prevalent yet least discussed aspects of spiritual awakening. However, here is the unexpected truth. This emptiness you are experiencing is not the conclusion of your journey. Rather, it serves as a gateway to something profoundly deeper. Stay with me through this discussion as I will reveal insights that may entirely transform how you perceive this emptiness. What seems like a loss is actually an indication of a profound transformation occurring within you. When individuals first learn about spiritual awakening, they often envision it as a beautiful and peaceful experience, akin to feeling bliss wash over them or a sense of connection to everything in the universe. While such experiences are possible, they rarely come first. For the majority, spiritual awakening feels less like an ascent and more like a collapse. It signifies not the acquisition of something new, but the loss of everything you once considered real. It is a breakdown. When your old beliefs, identity, desires, and even your sense of purpose start to disintegrate, you find yourself in a silent, uncharted territory. This space is what we refer to as emptiness. Before awakening, we inhabit a dreamlike state filled with labels, roles, aspirations, and attachments. We pursue various things, believing they will bring us fulfillment, money, relationships, recognition, success. Our minds constantly race, searching for something to grasp. For a while, this state appears normal, as if this is the essence of life itself. But awakening turns everything upside down. Suddenly, you perceive the game for what it is. You come to realize that you have been chasing illusions. You recognize how much of your identity was constructed from external influences, what your family dictated, society expected, what your ego required to feel secure. When that illusion collapses, the old motivations vanish alongside it. You no longer feel driven to chase the same goals, and without the surrounding noise, all that remains is silence. This silence can be quite uncomfortable in that beginning. Many people at this point begin to panic, questioning themselves. Am I depressed? Did I do something wrong? Why do I no longer feel happy? However, what is truly taking place is that your soul is undergoing a detoxification process. It is akin to having operated on artificial stimulation, dopamine derived from external rewards, validation from others, distractions from your true inner voice. Now, your system is resetting. You have disconnected from the matrix and your soul is acclimating to a new existence, one that is quieter, one that does not rely on constant entertainment, and one that is not driven by ego. But this transition requires time. In the interim, it may feel as though you are adrift in a void. Compounding this challenge, those around you might not comprehend your experience. They may remark, "You used to be so full of energy. What happened?" Or, "You once cared deeply about your goals. Why the shift?" The truth is that you have transformed in ways they cannot perceive. You have ceased participating in the race they are still running. You are no longer pursuing status, approval, or validation. Instead, you are on a quest for something genuine, something that transcends the superficial aspect of life. Because they are blind to your inner journey, they assume that something is amiss within you, which can intensify your sense of isolation in this experience. Let me share something powerful. The emptiness you are feeling is neither loneliness nor depression. It is space, a form of sacred silence. For the first time in your life, there exists room within you. Room for truth and room for something deeper. Most individuals are so overwhelmed by noise that there is no space for truth to settle. However, now that you have awakened, that noise has quieted. Yes, this quiet can be uncomfortable, but it is also incredibly vital, because here is where your soul begins to communicate. Initially, this space may feel cold, like an unending winter. You might find yourself waiting for the next grand experience, the next surge of inspiration, but nothing emerges. You are simply present, sitting in silence and pondering what is supposed to transpire next. Yet this silence holds the key. That stillness marks the threshold. Beneath the emptiness lies something waiting to be uncovered. A different kind of peace, not the boisterous, joyful variety, but a tranquil, steady presence that does not rely on anything external. This level of peace can only be discovered on the other side of emptiness. Before awakening, most of our emotions stem from reactions, responses to the world, to others, to thoughts. However, after awakening, those reactions slow down. They no longer possess the same hold on us. You start to sense what is genuinely there, rather than merely what your mind has fabricated. At first, what you find may likely feel like profound stillness, and for many, that stillness can seem void of substance. Yet if you remain with it long enough, you will come to realize it is not empty. It is replete with presence, awareness, and something so serene and pure that your former mindset was unable to acknowledge it. This realization lays the foundation for a new kind of life. One no longer governed by pursuit or evasion, but by simple existence. Let us be honest, it is not easy to remain in that space. The mind desires to fill it. It wants to revert to old patterns, distractions, and identities. It craves engagement, something firm to grasp. However, each time you attempt to fill the void with those familiar things, the same emptiness resurfaces. That is because you are not intended to fill it with the same remnants from before. Instead, you are meant to embrace it, to trust it, and to inhabit it long enough to allow your soul to breathe again. This period of emptiness resembles a spiritual winter. Much like nature, where it looks as if nothing is occurring on the surface, powerful changes are happening beneath. Old roots are fading, the soil is being cultivated, and when the moment arrives, something new shall begin to sprout. However, you cannot force it, you cannot rush it. You must surrender to the season. During this time, you will likely notice a surge in our sensitivity. It may become challenging to be in loud environments, or to engage with certain media, or even to be around specific individuals. This is because your energy is realigning. You are now more attuned to truth, and anything disingenuous or abrasive starts to feel burdensome. You may also discover a draw towards simpler pleasures, nature, tranquility, deep conversations, and stillness. This is your soul guidance, indicating what it genuinely craves. The more you honor that intuition, the more peace you will experience. Eventually, a beautiful transformation begins to manifest. The silence you once dreaded starts to feel like home. The emptiness begins to radiate with vibrancy. The stillness becomes your teacher. Almost without your realization, you begin to feel, renewed sense of connection, not to the external world, but to something far deeper, to the eternal essence within you that never changes, the part that has always been here, quietly waiting beneath the noise. Now, let me reveal the profound realization I promised earlier. That emptiness you have been experiencing is actually a signal that you have stepped away from illusion. You have ceased playing the game. You have disconnected from the false persona. When the illusions dissipate, what remain is space, pure space. This space is sacred because in it you can construct your life on truth, presence, and something that does not vanish when circumstances fluctuate. Do not flee from the emptiness. Do not hurry to fill it. Instead, sit with it, breathe through it, listen to it, and trust that this silence is not the conclusion of your journey. It is the commencement of your genuine. 1. You are not lost. You are not fractured. You are simply awakening to a reality that transcends the mind, something your heart has always recognized. You have crossed a threshold and are now standing in the space between who you once were and who you are evolving to be. While it is quiet here and perhaps unfamiliar, it is also authentic, pure, and real. The more you embrace it, the more you will understand that there is no need to revert to the past. There is no urgency to chase anything anymore. Everything you have been yearning for is already present in this moment, in this stillness, in this breath. This emptiness is where you finally encounter your true self, not a version molded by external influences, but the eternal essence of you, the soul that has never required fixing, the awareness that has always been whole. And that, my friend, is not emptiness at all. That is freedom.